Um, we're doing today um, X-Men Apocalypse. Um, just got finished watching it for the second time. Um, I think the movie said it best. The third one is always the worst. This about funny that even the movie said so itself when they reference onto our Return the Jedi thing, saying that one was the worst of the group. This one's pretty much the worst of those three. It's not as bad as Last Stand. Last Stand had was a lot more was a lot worse than this because I think they ended it a little bit better on this. They made it where it could go somewhere because we don't know. As far as we know, the next movie that's X-Men is Logan, and that's going to be in the future. But back to this movie. My favorite part of this movie was my favorite part from the last one. Futures X-Men Futures Days Past was when Quicksilver did his own entire where everything else slowed down and he was the only thing moving in that scene, and they had like music playing in the background. Like this time is that Sweet Dreams Made His Dream song. It's a lot big. The scene lasts longer than the last scene, the last one, and I still think the first one was a little bit better, but this one lasted a lot longer. But still the best scene from the movie. I still don't like that they made Scott. I know I should be over this by now, but I still think they should have Scott, where Hammock is, the older brother, and because in the comics, Scott is older than Alex. So I don't know why they switched it up. Where Cyborg was supposed to be the one that meets Xavier first instead of Hammock, but it's all right. Then they had to kill him to make it only because we don't see any of the other ones that were in the movie in the first class, and since he's the only one we don't see the other three, they had to kill him because now we have where it was back in the movies, where Beast, Mystique, Magneto, and Xavier were the only ones that were alive then, and Wolverine. Which, okay, Wolverine is one of my favorite X-Men X-Men, but he was not needed in this movie, and they kind of break on what they did in the last one. Stryker was not supposed to get him in the end of that last movie. Stryker did not get him. Now they made it look like Stryker did get him. Make up your mind. You either want Stryker to have him or you don't. It can't work both ways. Just have, like, he didn't need to be in this movie. So that's the only time. This is like the only movie he did not need to be in. I like also one character I liked a lot in this movie was Nightcrawler. Because Nightcrawler is also one of my favorite X-Men, and they kind of made him look at the outsider. I saw like a deleted scene where we got to see his reaction on in America. Kind of wish they kept it in because we saw a bunch of people reacting to him, and when they went to the mall, when Jubilee, Scott, Jean, and Nightcrawler went to the mall. So Nightcrawler to see our culture since he was born in Germany. Um, and I would like to have that part of the movie, and basically all we get to see part of the mall is them leaving. I think the only reason why they did not want to put them and to go to the mall in the movie because they didn't want Nightcrawler, Scott, Jean, and I guess Julie, even though Julie's hardly in the movie, we didn't get to see her power. Except for in that lead scene, we got to see her turn on an arcade after Scott and Jean ran out of quarters. She was able to use her power and make it where they were able to having her go without a quarter. Even I would love to actually see her power in the movie. I'm not really a big fan of her, but a lot of people, since she's from the cartoon that was around when I was a little kid, it would be nice to see her power. Because the only other one, she was just a little cameo. In the other three X movies, she was just a little cameo. If you were able to see her, you had pretty much the same exact treatment they give Stan Lee in the movies. But now that she's actually a character, we don't get to see her power unless you watch the lead scenes. It would be nice to have kept that scene, but they didn't. So I would say everybody thinks that Apocalypse was bad in this movie. A bad villain is how he looked. What do you expect him to look like? He looked pretty similar to what he would in the cartoon. Not exactly, but I don't know, how would you expect him to look? But I can understand he's not. Ray said he's the X-Men's Thanos. Only time he acts like Thanos is because he can get big. Only time he goes big is when he's inside when Xavier's inside his head. I don't know. He was pretty powerful in it. I just think everybody doesn't the way he looks. He looks alright. He's not that bad. He is a one-dimensional villain, but he's not really. It doesn't really didn't really have that much personality in the cartoon. But I think he was pretty bad. He's this little one-dimensional, I guess. And he did look kind of silly. Now, ones that they should have done better is Storm and Angel. We really didn't get to see them that much in this movie, especially Storm. I would want to see her actually see a form for what she was like. She was a kid. All we know is that she was a thief and stuff like that. And I'd like to see what type of personality she had, because she was one of the best in the cartoon and the comics. And is this supposed to be the same exact Angel from the last Stand, or is this a different one? It doesn't make sense. Why would that Angel be in Germany when he's supposed to be a son of a rich guy? The guy who tried to rid the cure, Morden. No, So I was just wondering, is this supposed to be the same as like Angel from that, or what? Well, and Miss Mystique. What one thing I didn't get is how many years has passed since first class? 20, and a lot of the characters look the same. I know it hasn't been that much years here, but since in Last Stand, where they go and meet Jean to take her to the school, who they use, Dr. Stewart, and they used old Xavier and old Magneto. They used the old actors. So why you can't? I like these new actors. They're pretty good. They're pretty good as young Magneto and young Xavier, but it's kind of weird. We're in Last Stand. I know they're different movies, different time periods, but since that time period that they showed to go and get Jean, still used. They didn't get those good actors for those guys when they had that. They still used them when they're younger, a little bit, but they made them look like in the 80s in that time period, and in Wolverine, that they are the same, that they're old then in the 80s. So, it's just weird. That's all. As this, I know that's a different time. They say now that they look younger. I like those actors. They're good. Just wondering how come they still look this young. They could have made them look like try to age them a little bit. That's all. And so I would say this movie, I would say it's a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. So because there's a little, it's not as good as the other two, and he's down here. He gives it 2 paws. You gotta be kidding me. I did not. It was not recording at all. Okay, let's try again. This is. I want to add something in my review. X-Men Apocalypse. Okay. I wonder with Magneto, they try to give him like a happy ending in the beginning, and have him like have a family, have him like happy and all. And then they took it away from him. And the way they did it, we know it was gonna happen because he's a bad guy. He's supposed to have risen to be bad, and they had to since they gave him a happy and try to give him like have happiness, have him like live. So when they took it away, I don't like the way they did it because the guy that killed him, his wife and his kid, didn't even know he did it until he did it, because he shot the arrow, and he wasn't even looking. He shot the arrow, so I don't like that part of the movie, and also I don't like that Quicksilver was who pretty much told Mystique that Eric's my dad, and he didn't even tell Magneto about it. I mean, Magneto thinks he's all alone now because he lost his family twice. So
I don't like the fact that they brought the whole entire thing up from the comics, and not even it didn't really go anywhere in my view. But you're gonna bring it something that important, you need to have it go somewhere, have some result. I don't think it fit really anywhere. So that's the reason why it's a 10/6, because they had this big twist that people from who've read the comics, seen animated series, know that these two characters are related, and yet it didn't really go anywhere. I mean, in the last movie, they just did it as they said they talked about it as a joke, but in this movie they made it as a big deal, and it really didn't go anywhere. And I don't like when they do that. Okay.